Hello from the city of London. It is a lively late night in this hustling, bustling city, and I am walking home. So guys, I have a very special episode tonight. Why is that? Well, it's because I am using your responses for this episode. So I asked some of my dear friends a question because, come on, I Miss Curiosity, like, I'm the queen of questions. My senior quote was literally, "Sir," or "Miss," I forgot which one it was, "can I ask a question?" And my teacher, I specifically remember, oh my god, I literally can't remember her name, that's crazy, because she was such a important teacher. Well, not important, but no, she was important, not to invalidate her, but like it was with a V for sure. I remember this was my chemistry teacher in year 10, and she had a tally chart on the board for how many questions I could ask per lesson, because I just asked too many questions. And I was like, girlie, I'm paying for my education, I can ask as much as I want, curiosity's key. Yet the dear teacher decided to put a limit, okay? And my questions were not okay, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but they were not silly questions where I was just asking them for the sake of asking them or getting the class's attention or trying to be the class clown, you know what I mean? Like, they were just genuinely me trying to understand, okay? But anyway, that's not the point. Well, it kind of is, but anyway, the point is that it's kind of raining, isn't it? The point, you know what's so weird? I'm like sweating, but I'm also freezing. Like, I can feel myself sweating under my big puffy coat. But the point is, I'm going to talk through some answers that I got to the question of, drumroll please, drumroll however you like, because I'm currently trying to open up the question, even though I know it, but just to make sure. Okay, the question is, if you met yourself, future you, in 5 years, what would you ask? What would you ask that person? You in 5 years, okay? And for your information, in case this makes a difference to anyone, the people I asked are either 19 or 20. Actually, no, they're not only 19 or 20. It's between 19 to 22, the age range of people who answered this question. And these are all females for now. But that is only this episode. You don't know what's coming. So let's go through the first answer, shall we? The first answer is, does it all make sense now? Regrets, I've had a few, as my man Frank Sinatra said, or sang, let's say. What do you guys think? I'm curious to hear everyone. What do you think about regrets? Do you think that there's no such thing as regrets? That famous saying where you should never have regrets because, you know, you learn from them. Do you think that? Because I believe that everything happens for a reason, and you know, you learn from things, but does that mean that you can't regret? Like, you can still learn from a lesson and regret something that happens. I guess it depends on the scale and intensity of what you regret, right? Because if it's something more minor, at least minor to you, maybe you don't necessarily regret it, but you look back and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. By the way, my voice, I'm aware I sound like a bit different, but I can't lie, I like the sound of my voice. Like, I love how my voice sounds when I'm sick. And you should have heard me on Friday, guys. I sounded so good. But my voice literally disappeared on Saturday. I had a family lunch on Sunday, and I had to cancel it because I could not hold a conversation with them if I went, and I also didn't want to make anyone sick, but I just literally, it was tiring to talk, and maybe that was my sign to just calm down with the yapping, because I love to yap, but I'm a chatterbox, guys. I'm not gonna deny it. Like, it's one of my strengths, I would say. But yeah, I just could not talk on Saturday. Well, no, like, alhamdulillah, I could talk, but not, like, the voice would not come out much. And I was so freaking sad because I was so excited for this lunch on Sunday. I was in Bath over the weekend and I was going to leave early to go back to London to go to this lunch. But I couldn't go because I wasn't able to hold the conversation, unfortunately. Anyways, back to the point. Yes, my dear friend here said that she asks her future self about regrets. And you know what? That's interesting because I think it's still important to ask yourself about regrets, because it opens the gateway to conversations around reflection. Even if you don't necessarily regret or have regrets or believe in regrets, regrets are associated with where you made mistakes, what you maybe didn't do the best, and how you can improve. So that's that question. And when you think about yourself in 5 years, you do think like, okay, what am I gonna do, or what did I do that I'm not the most proud of, or I'm not the most happy of? And how can I be better? How can I avoid doing that? How can I learn from my lesson and move on? Okay, let's talk about a different question. Response. Sorry. The next response, guys, is everyone listening? If you're listening, clap 3 times. Okay, I'm waiting. Clap. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Clap like that. Okay, we're back. Oh, okay, this one is also around regrets, but it's a little bit more specific. We have a niche response. I'm not going to say the name because anonymity. And I told them I'd keep it anonymous. But is there anything you regret or wish you did / wish you didn't do when you were in uni? Here there's a bit more specificity. Is that a word? I think it is. Wish you did / wish you didn't do, because sometimes you regret doing something and sometimes you regret not doing something. And they always say, like, you know, it's better, you'd rather have tried than wish or regret that you never tried. But I think that applies to the scenario and the circumstance, because you don't necessarily want to try something that is like drugs, right? And you see, that's where I feel like regret is something that's more applicable. But I don't know, at the same time, sometimes people go through things because they're meant to learn. I'm in no way, shape or form saying you should do anything bad like that. Like, no, that is something I would personally very much regret. But sometimes when people have situations like that, they learn a lesson and they are there to send a message to the world. You know, maybe that's a purpose to them. They help and mentor people to move on from such situations, or to get out of those situations, which can be very unfortunate and have huge circumstances. And so they're that guiding person who's been through it and can help people get out of it. And you can learn from that regret, you know. I don't know, I think I am a person who says that I don't believe in regrets, but I don't believe that there's something that is like absurd, you know what I mean? But I'm also just kind of talking on the spot here, so yeah. Uni though. Uni is a very, very precious time of your life if you go to uni. Not everyone goes to uni, but oh my god, uni is life-changing. Genuinely, like, going to uni, I'm so grateful that I've been able to have this experience. And, you know, you meet so many people, you experience so much in terms of events and knowledge. You gain so much knowledge. And when I say knowledge, I'm not limiting to academia, but I mean, you're exposed to so many different types of people who have come from different backgrounds, cultures, lifestyles, and you learn from that. You learn the way the world works. I've gained so much exposure just by talking to different people and living in a different country. Especially if you go abroad, then you're in a whole different environment, and sometimes you might regret or wish you did or did not optimize that in some way, you know. Sometimes people let opportunities pass by, or people don't leave their shell, and it's worth reflecting on that, to think, okay, what could I have done here instead, or what will I do next time, or, you know, maybe I should have talked to that person, or maybe I should have avoided that person, you know. But again, we are all learning. This is life. You learn. Learn. If I think about myself, there are things I wish I did sometimes in uni. And I mean, I'm not done uni, but what's an example? I guess in some ways, sometimes I wish I didn't overthink saying certain things to people, because I am a huge social butterfly, but even someone like me, who I would say I am a very extroverted individual. Sometimes I always overthink things and overanalyze everything. But even when in conversations or approaching certain people, and I'm just like, yes, it's important to think twice, but if it's something good or you want to compliment someone, just go compliment them. Well, okay, I think it depends on the person, because I'm personally not going to go compliment an old man, but safety. But if it's just a girly, another girly in my lecture, and I want to compliment her, why don't I do that? Why don't I say, girl, I love your bag? Why not just do it? And usually I will always do it. Like, I love to give at least one compliment a day, not for the sake of it, but because genuinely, like, there's always I always have compliments to give. There's so much that I love and I can appreciate in a person, whether it's their style, their charisma, their personality, their just something they're doing unspokenly. There's always something to compliment. So why didn't I just give that compliment? You know what I mean? But then also there's things that maybe I wish I didn't do. Like, sometimes I didn't need to sacrifice sleep, and the older I grow, the more I'm like, damn, sleep debt is a thing, and I don't wanna have so much of it, and sleep is so important, and it could heavily help my health. So I need to sleep more. But anyways, there's also the fun nights that came out of sacrificing my sleep. So at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and I'm making this very long. So let's go on to the next answer. The next answer is is he the one? And this is coming from a dear one to me. And it's true, it's an important question, but sometimes I think, should I really be asking, like, are you meant to be asking yourself, is he the one, if he really is? Because they always say you just know it, like, you just know he's the one if he's the one, right? I mean, I don't know, because I haven't found the one, but is the one a real thing? I mean, I believe that we were made in pairs. I don't know this. I need to educate myself further on what exactly that means. But I just believe that, we're connected to people. And do you guys believe in soulmates? That's a genuine question. Do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe in friendship soulmates, romantic soulmates, family soulmates, sibling soulmates? Just, do you believe in soulmates? That's a good question. And do you believe in love at first sight? Oh my god, I can talk for hours about love. What does love mean? How do you define love? Familial love, friendship love, romantic love. Love is just amazing. And you know what? This is a good time to promote my favorite book ever, Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn. Oh my god, guys. Amazing book. And I do think I just haven't read enough books in the world, so maybe my scope of books means that my favorite book is an accurate representation of what I truly love in a book. But I just love this book so much. It's so good. It talks about relationships and psychology, two things that I adore. I just love understanding the psychology of relationships, and because I love people, such a people's person, I love understanding how people work. That's why I decided to study marketing. I want to know why we do what we do, like, humans are just so cool. Like, I love understanding us and what we do and why we do it. We're just so freaking amazing, right? Yeah. And we're so different. It's so awesome. It really is. But back to, oh wow, I've been yapping for a while. Anyways, back to the responses. Is he the one? I don't know, but that really also matters. What the one is to you. What is he to you? What are your priorities? What are you looking for in a person? Does that align with you? Do you guys align? Is approval important for you? Have you talked to your family, your friends? What's the vibe? It depends. Do you have that sensation of security with this person? But also, is it a false security where you're playing it safe, and you could actually be with someone who's better for you, or who will make you feel more stable in life and happier. And there's a difference between stability and safety and security, because you don't want to settle just to play safe. I think there's a difference also between stability and safety. When like a man is stable, you're not necessarily playing it safe, but a stable man was someone who's got you. And obviously you have to have yourself first. You gotta got yourself. You your own bestie, bro. But yeah, let's move on. Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So 3 questions from this special individual girly. She has given us 3 additional questions. Happiness. What is happiness? I remember the time that I discovered that happiness is not a constant. I remember when I was young and I discovered that, wow, like it is not normal to always be happy. Like I thought it was weird to be sad. I thought you're not meant to be sad. I thought you're always meant to be happy. And if you're not, then something is wrong and you need to solve it. And honestly, I still have that question sometimes. Like we're always trying to be happy, but is that the goal? Because you can't always be happy. You can just strive to be fulfilled, to find peace, to be healthy, to feel secure and stable, and to feel like you're in a good state. But does that mean happiness? Yes, we want to be happy, but I'm asking these questions because I know as much as you do. None of us really know, do we? We're all just trying to figure it out. But are you proud of yourself? Because being proud is important, but being comfortable is, or at least for me, I guess sometimes I've avoided allowing myself to feel proud because I'm scared of getting comfortable, and I don't want to let comfort stop me from striving further and pursuing more of my goals, But that shouldn't stop you from being proud. It's important to be proud, and like I said before, I don't know if sometimes I record episodes and I don't upload them in order, but it's important to remember that feedback is good and bad, or strengths and improvements, because it's also important to acknowledge what you've done good and be proud of yourself. So yeah, think, like, are you proud? What would make you proud? What can you do to be more proud? Who do you want to be and who are you now? What's the gap between those 2 people? Well, what's stopping you? What do you need to do to make yourself proud? And then where do you see yourself in 5 years? She just shot the question back at her future 5-year self to her 10-year self. I mean, herself in 10 years. That's pretty cray-cray if you ask me. I should really go sleep because I need to wake up bright and early. But that was a good question, because at the end of the day, you gotta think ahead. But don't forget to embrace the now. Life is full of paradoxes, isn't it? So, next answer is, what is something that I'm taking for granted right now that I should appreciate for the next 5 or less years? That is such a great point based on the last one. What is something you should appreciate now? Don't forget to be in the moment. What's something that you have? Think about this is a good question. This is a good answer, actually, that none of them said, but me answering my own question. What is something you 5 years ago wanted that you have now and that you should appreciate and you should be grateful for? What is it? Like, have you progressed in your career? Have you prioritized your health more? Are you making more time for your loved ones? Are you pursuing the values and goals that really mean a lot to you? Think about it and don't take things for granted. Are you supporting people? Are you helping the world in the ways that you can? Are you more connected to your faith? Are you helping the environment? Are you giving towards those who really need it? Think about that. All right. Oh, but then she also said that I should appreciate for the next 5 or less years. Yeah, think about that and think about what you need to appreciate, how you can appreciate it for longer in the coming years. Even if you haven't appreciated now, it's never too late. You can continue to appreciate. Okay. Now, are you satisfied with what you've reached? I would say this is similar to, well, do you guys think, what do you think is the disparity or now I'm trying to use fancy words. What do you think, how can you distinguish between being proud and being satisfied? Because, again, I feel like maybe I would link satisfied to comfort. And that's why I used to never be satisfied, because I always wanted more, right? I believe I can push myself further. But that doesn't mean I can't be proud. I can be proud. So proud is different to satisfied. But also it's important to be satisfied and not to be greedy in certain things, in certain situations. What I was talking about was goals, and tangible and achievable goals where I feel like I genuinely can do better. But it's also important to stop and be like, Alhamdulillah, because I was meant to achieve the result I achieved in this moment for this situation. Maybe I can do better in the future, but I'm going to be satisfied, because something I learned, and I mentioned this in my perfectionism episode, is that at the end of the day, you can choose to be satisfied, and that will probably make you feel more at peace. So satisfied is also important, and maybe that provides a different perspective to what I said earlier about associating satisfied with comfortable. They are different. At the end of the day, they are two different words. Next answer. Oh, bro, when am I going to get this right? Where am I living? Country-wise. More of a fun question. No, seriously, who knows where you'll be living? Will you be living in the place you grew up and you've been your whole life? Or will you be living in the place where you graduated from? Will you be living in a completely country you've never been to? Will you be living in a country where you've met your partner? Will you be living in a country that your career has guided you to? The world is your oyster. And final response, last but not least. Oh, I got it right, guys. I said response, not question. Are you making time for the things and people you love? I think that is the perfect pivot to an ending, because life is worth living, and living means loving. People who are there for you, who care for you, who support you for who you are, who share your morals, who are good people, are so important. And also, this all applies to the things you enjoy doing, things you love to do, what makes you flourish. You're a little plant. You're a little plant with a seed. What makes you grow? What makes your branches sprout? Are you doing those things? Don't forget. Zoom out. We are tiny little creatures in this giant globe called Earth, in outer space, floating. And what means a lot to you? Is faith important to you? Are you connecting to your Creator? Are you thanking God for what you have? Are you making time for the people who are very important to you? Are you making time for yourself? Don't let life eat you away. Don't let everything around you distract you from what really matters to you, and what really matters in this life. This life is short. This life is a test. It's gonna, you don't want to hear it, but life will end. And you want to do the best that you can, be the best person that you can. Is that linked to religion for you? Is that linked to, well, I'm sure we all have values, so what values does it link for? What values does it link to for you? See, my English is diminishing, meaning I need to go sleep. So I'm gonna prioritize a goal, which is to get more sleep. And I'm gonna end this here. I really hope this gave you some serotonin. If you want me to ask you a question next, for my next interactive episode, where I answer your questions, literally go DM me right now on Instagram, Simz Serotonin. Go DM me and just say me, or tell me a question you want me to ask you, and a response you want me to discuss, because it will be anonymous if you want it to be. But if you want me to say your name, I can definitely do that. and just interact. This is a people's podcast, so let's talk about people. Let's be people. Like I said in a previous episode, let's be us. Good night, everyone. Bisous.